Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're digging into a pretty significant development concerning humanitarian aid efforts in Gaza.
That's right. We've been looking at an RTHK article, mainly, about a group called the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, GHF for short.
And our aim here is really to unpack the key information, the context, and, what this tells us about the wider challenges of aid delivery there.
Okay, so first off, this group, the GHF, the source describes it as, well, controversial. It's U.S.-backed,
Yeah.
based in Geneva since February.
And they set a huge goal right out of the gate, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Something like 300 million meals. The plan was to distribute those in just their first 90 days. Really ambitious.
Incredibly ambitious. But the main event, the reason we're talking about it, is this abrupt resignation.
Exactly. The GHF's executive director, a guy named Jake Wood, suddenly resigned. The announcement came on a Sunday, according to the article.
And the reason he gave,
Yeah.
that seems pretty critical here.
It really is.
Yeah.
According to his statement in the source, he felt he just had to leave. He determined the organization couldn't actually fulfill its mission and strictly adhere to what he called humanitarian principles.
Those core principles. The source lists them, right?
Yeah, it does. Humanity, neutrality, impartiality, and independence. He basically said he couldn't abandon those.
Which shines a light on the controversy that the source mentions has surrounded the GHF from the start.
It points out that the UN and, the more traditional established aid agencies, they've refused to cooperate with the GHF.
And the reason cited is accusations that the GHF is working with Israel.
That's the core of it, yes.
Yeah.
Concerns about neutrality and independence, essentially.
So you have this new group, U.S.-backed, trying this massive push, but the existing aid world is keeping its distance over principal concerns.
And then its own leader leaves, citing those very same principles. It really highlights the tension.
Especially when you place it in the broader context the source provides. All this is happening with massive international pressure on Israel about conditions in Gaza following the October 7th attacks.
Right. The article mentions, a total blockade had only recently started to ease up after more than 2 months.
And agencies warning about starvation risks growing.
Exactly. It's a dire backdrop. And the source also mentions something else happening around the same time as the resignation.
The Israeli strike.
Yeah, on a school in Gaza City that was sheltering displaced people. The source cites local authorities and medics reporting at least 20 killed, including women and children, early Monday.
And it notes Israel's stated aim for its operations, eliminating Hamas's capabilities and getting hostages back, reporting both sides there.
It is. So that intense, volatile environment is where Jake Wood was trying to operate. The article gives a bit of his perspective, too.
He was brought in for his experience,
Yeah.
right? Horrified by the hunger.
Yes, exactly. And he felt he developed a, quote, pragmatic plan. One designed to feed people, sure, but also handle security and actually complement what NGOs were doing.
But found it impossible to implement.
Apparently so. Not while sticking firmly to those principles like neutrality and independence, given the circumstances on the ground he encountered.
And when he resigned, he didn't just leave quietly. He made some calls to action.
He did. The source says he urged Israel to significantly boost aid through all available routes, not just one specific channel.
And he urged everyone involved, all stakeholders, to look for new, innovative ways to deliver aid.
Yes, innovative methods to get aid in without delay, diversion, or discrimination, as the source quotes him.
So we see this GHF initiative, big backing, big goals, trying a different approach, but it runs right into this fundamental wall of humanitarian principles.
Pretty much. Neutrality, independence, leading to non-cooperation from established players, and then the leader's exit over those same issues. It's a stark illustration, really, from the source material.
Yeah, of just how incredibly difficult, maybe almost impossible sometimes it is to run independent humanitarian operations in these deeply contested, politicized environments.
It definitely makes you pause.
It really does. And it leaves you, the listener, with a question, I think. If even a well-resourced, U.S.-backed effort like this struggles so much with core principles like neutrality that cooperation breaks down and its leader quits, what does that truly tell us about the fundamental barriers to impartial aid in conflict zones? Are different approaches needed or possible? Or are those principles the absolute bedrock, even if they limit what can be done sometimes? Something to think about.